Free agents. They've been signing all day, so here's the rundown. Starting off with the Leafs. Jason Spezza signs a one-year deal at $700,000. I was not expecting this. I was not expecting the Leafs to go out and get another center. There was a bit of an issue at fourth-line center this year, and this more than solves it. Yes, he's 36, and his production has dropped off to about 30 points a year, but as a fourth-line center on this team, that's more than enough. He probably will get maybe 20 points as a fourth-line center, but just the amount of center depth that that gives us, and the playoff knowledge and veteran presence that that gives us, and now the Leafs, after years and years and years of having terrible center depth, not having a first-line center, just being absolutely miserable down the middle, may have some of the best center depth the NHL has ever seen, with Tavares, Matthews, Kadri, and Spezza. That is just a ridiculous lineup down the middle. Sticking with the Leafs, Ron Hainsey and Tyler Ennis both leave Toronto, signing for the Ottawa Senators, both of them. Hainsey is $3.5 million for 1 year, which is a bit of an overpay, and Tyler Ennis was only $800,000, and that's really interesting because if that's all it took to sign him, you'd think that the Leafs would have tried to bring him back, and at $800,000, I think the Leafs probably should have brought him back, but he's in Ottawa now. Ottawa needing players to bolster up their cap so they hit the cap floor, basically just going for the Leafs' depth players. Connor Brown, Zaitsev, and the CC trade, and now Hainsey, Ennis. 4 of their 18 skaters next season are going to be ex-Leafs, which is quite a weird coincidence. Other big news for today, Panarin went to the Rangers and Bobrovsky went to the Panthers. Panarin for $11.6 million for 7 years and Bobrovsky for $10 million for 7 years. Now, the fact that those two were split up is quite surprising to me because mid-season Panarin fired his agent and hired Bobrovsky's agent. You really thought they were both going to be a package deal, and Florida was really in on both of them, but I guess Panarin wanted the likes of New York, and the Rangers get another top free agent. Even when they're rebuilding, they still get the best free agents. The Panthers replaced Luongo, who just retired, with one of the best goalies in the league in Bobrovsky. At $10 million a year, that's Carey Price money. That has huge potential to come back and bite them if Bobrovsky is not a Vezina candidate every single year. Matt Duchene went to the Nashville Predators. That's not very surprising. That was pretty much a given ever since the Subban trade, as Nashville just freed up a bunch of cap room and needed a top scoring center, and they just went out and got it. And I think Duchene, with the amount of depth and offensive talent that can surround him in Nashville, he'll probably do very good there, especially with the likes of Arvidsson and Forsberg. Also interesting, both Joe Pavelski and Corey Perry are going to Dallas. Dallas is a very interesting case right now because it seems like they need to win now. They're signing a bunch of these older players, and yes, they will boost this team right now. In a couple of years, having all these old guys on the team, that is going to be a big hit. And yes, Perry was a one-year deal, but Pavelski is signed for multiple years. Hopefully he doesn't fall off anytime soon. The Vancouver Canucks make a bunch of signings, most notably signing Tyler Myers to a 5-year, $6 million a year contract. Now, there was a lot of possible rumors that Tyler Myers was going to go for over $7, maybe $8 million, so $6 million is a much more reasonable price for him. Still possibly a little bit of an overpay. I'm not sure he's worth that much more than Jake Muzzin is making $4 million right now, but in today's market, $6 million for him is probably still a little slight bit of an overpay. But for the Canucks, it gives them a pretty solid defender. They may still be a year away from making the playoffs, but they're getting very, very close. The Blue Jackets signed Gustav Nyquist. Is not a replacement for Panarin, but a pretty decent scoring winger at $5.5 million a year. Blue Jackets we're going to have a rough day today no matter what. Getting Nyquist is a little bit of a blow softener. And the one last thing I want to talk about, which I thought was really interesting, is the Edmonton Oilers sign Mike Smith, and the Calgary Flames sign Cam Talbot. Neither move is going to solve each team's goaltending issues, as both of these netminders had some issues last season, and both of them are coming off of not very great regular seasons. Mike Smith was very good in the playoffs and probably Calgary's best player in the playoffs, but in the regular season he was and Cam Talbot had an under 900 save percentage year. He was not very good last season. So for Calgary as making Cam Talbot be their goaltender free agent signing, it suggests to me that they think Riddick is ready to be their full-time starter. And for Edmonton, this is just spin the goalie wheel and ooh, Mike Smith. Yeah, this isn't going to be a very good year for Edmonton in net. Oh, and also, Anders Lee re-signs with the New York Islanders, so they don't lose the captain in a second straight year. He signs a 7-year, $7 million a year deal. And honestly, the fact that Lee signs for more than Nylander did just shows how good that Nylander deal actually is. Because yes, Lee did score 40 goals, but he only had 62 points that year he scored 40 goals. And that was with John Tavares. Without Tavares, his point production went down to like 51. And his goal total went down to 28. So you're signing a 50-point guy to a $7 million a year contract. This market's just completely messed. So anyways, that does it for my quick rundown of what's going on in free agency. If you like this video, hit like. If you want to see more of my stuff, hit subscribe. And I'll see you next time.